Anna?
So I end up just airdropping everything.
Okay. 6 o'clock straight up. I'd like to call the regularly scheduled meeting of the Town of Washington Planning Board to order. We do have a quorum present. I'd like to ask everybody to stand and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Have the members all received minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Any corrections or changes? With hearing no changes, can I have a motion to approve last month's minutes?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Yes, it's our new alternate, Dave Purcell. Should have done that beforehand, but
Do it now?
we'll.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to jump right into it. First item on the agenda. Farah. Me mice, right? My mice?
Me mice.
Me mice. I had it right the first time. Okay, come on up. I'm sorry, we need another chair.
Yeah, just pull a chair up. Thank you.
I knew I had it.
That's okay.
I wrote it down last time with a long. Okay, we have one new member to the planning board since our last. So if you would give just a quick, short
story of why we're here
a
tonight.
short description so that Dave can
Yes.
get up to speed just a little bit.
Yes. So I bought this property 8 years ago, and it was 15 acres with one guest house and a site where there was previously a big house that had burnt down. The septic and the foundation were still there. So before we bought, we made sure that we were able to rebuild, even though it was only 15 acres, but we had the approval that it was grandfathered to rebuild. So 3 years later, when we wanted to rebuild, change of mind, suddenly we can't because it's only 15 acres. So we decommissioned the guest house, which meant removing the closet doors, pulling out the oven, so we could build the bigger house. We did that, and then we bought another 13 acres or 12 acres something. So now we have 27, and so now we just want to plug back the stove and put back the closet doors, and because we have 2 dwellings on 26 acres. So that's why we're here today.
Okay. Discussion? Questions, comments, concerns?
I have a question.
I'll open the public hearing 1 second. I meant from questions from the board.
No questions for me. No.
Okay, motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing. Is there any comments from the public?
I have a question.
Please stand up and give your name for the record, please.
My name is Janet Donahue, and I live at 305 North Tower Hill Road. And I have a shared driveway with this property. And I'd like to know how long the house had been uninhabitable,
The main house or the cottage?
the cottage.
How long the stove was unplugged, you mean, in the closet doors?
Because it looked like,
Until-
okay, go ahead.
Until February, we had a burst in the pipes with the ice, and so we had somebody come and repair everything. There was holes everywhere, and when he left, he did hang back in February the doors and the thing and the.
February of this
the-
year,
Yes.
it's been uninhabitable since February of this year.
I mean, I don't know what you mean uninhabitable. There was still a kitchen there and.
Well, my understanding was when you got a variance, because you weren't grandfathered in, you had to get a variance to
Yes,
build the house at the top of the hill, correct?
exactly.
Okay, I was here for that as well.
I remember.
Okay.
And
Doug,
they
we gotta-
were,
Hang on.
can make comments, not interrogate.
Yeah, we're not gonna do a question.
We're here to, we want to hear from you, so if you
Yeah.
want to just step up and share your thoughts or concerns, and we will hear them, but we're gonna,
my thoughts and concerns are, when they got the variance to build a house, they were told that.
Excuse me,
that
I'm sorry, I
cottage-
don't mean to, but there's a microphone that you should use
Okay.
just to make sure so people at home.
because the folks on you,
I
folks.
was, we were told at that time when they got the variance to build the house, that the cottage was supposed to be uninhabitable because it's a 15-acre lot, and they already have a house on it. They were gonna build a second house, and that's why they got the variance to build the second house, because it's 10-acre zoning. So they would need 20 acres to have the second house.
So it was never uninhabitable, it was just deemed an accessory dwelling?
We were told at the time it had to be uninhabitable so they can build a second house. That's what we were told. And it has been inhabited pretty much ever since. There's lights have been on and off, so.
Uninhabitable is not a word in the code, it has to be an accessory is the right word, right? Accessory dwelling unit.
That's not what we were told.
And I was under the impression we have 26 acres.
We do.
We do not, we're just talking about when.
When they built the house, they only had 15, and it's
Right.
10-acre
So you
zoning.
couldn't have
So it was the
two-
second structure, second house.
Two dwellings on.
Exactly,
Which is
yes.
why all the the closets came down and all of that.
Right, but she was
Yeah.
using a word uninhabitable, and it's not uninhabitable, it just can't be used as a primary residence, which is why the stove has to be removed and the closet doors and things were.
But she just
to
said
meet
this
the
was done in
code.
February.
This was done a long time ago.
Well, we,
back on in February.
in February, and we bought the
Okay,
extra
my other
acreage
concern is
a
the
year
driveway,
ago.
because it's a shared driveway, and it seems that everybody who lives on the other side or works for you or whatever has no concern about my property, the people that live on the other side, that live there 24/7.
The
365
questions need to come
days.
To the board. The questions are to the board, the
Okay.
statements are to the board, please.
Okay, so what generally happens is my driveway gets blocked a lot because it's a shared driveway. And there are people that work for Rima or her company or whatever. I don't know if they work, volunteer, whatever. They block the driveway constantly with no regard to my property, us going in and out. My husband is a volunteer for the Millbrook Fire Department. I have my son-in-law and and a friend who also volunteer for the fire department. They need to get in and out 24/7 whenever there's a problem, and a lot of times we're blocked. When they were building their house, my son-in-law sat on the road for 15 minutes while they were bringing stuff up to build the house. So my concern is what's going to happen with the driveway. And if it does get blocked, what is my, what do I do?
I'll jump in.
I guess, so I'm not,
Doesn't really have anything to
and
do
it's,
with
and we want to hear what you have to say, but this is really a, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But it's
more
a
of
shared driveway. If it
it's
was a
a-
private
it's a-
driveway, it wouldn't matter.
it's a-
But it's not, it's a shared driveway, and their driveway going up to this cottage stops before I get to my house. So,
So, just to clarify, there's no shared access and maintenance agreement currently in place for the shared drive?
No, we tried to send them a shared driveway agreement when we bought, and we never got it back. And then these allegations were made in 2019. The driveway is on 24-hour video surveillance. I'm happy to share these video surveillance so you can see.
it is
nothing to
now.
This would all be a private agreement
Yeah.
between the
Yeah.
parties.
Nothing to
This
do
is
with
not
it.
something,
I don't think
I've
it concerns
seen
zoning.
boards
But-
set as a condition of approval that you make efforts to establish a
This has
private
been
agreement
a
of this kind.
long-standing.
but It sounds like the.
Okay, so nobody's been living there, so now somebody's going to be living there.
Nobody's going to be living there.
What is,
No change.
then what is this,
Nothing's
what is
gonna
this for? This is for
This is-
change of use, so
Nobody's going to be.
guest house, accessory residential dwelling.
somebody could live there.
Somebody could have always lived there.
Yeah.
Somebody could have always stayed there.
See, that's not what we were told when they built the house.
Am I wrong?
No,
It's my husband. So I just want to know, what do I do when they block on my driveway? That's all I want to do. I mean, I can call the police, that's not a problem, but it's not a high priority. It's going to take an hour to get there, and then they'll be gone by then, so.
Unfortunately, the shared driveway part is going to be a neighbor-to-neighbor issue and not a...
So if they block my driveway, I have no recourse.
Not with this board. This is a planning board, and we're hearing an application, and we receive comments on that application. I think, short of working it out yourselves, if there's a building code violation, you can go to the building inspector. Otherwise, it's a private issue that neighbors have to work out. It's just not something we have jurisdiction over.
Okay, I just want to know what to do when they block my driveway. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
the survey that they're using as the site plan, that was also used for like the lot line adjustment that this board had approved a while back, shows existing common drive easement on the driveway that's shared between the two properties. It's labeled as an existing common drive easement.
So those are private property rights that you can enforce against each other, but the board has no purview over that.
Okay, because I am supposed to be granted, free ingress, egress, and that doesn't always happen.
I can't advise you, but you can get advice from counsel on that issue, I would say.
Okay.
Any other comments from the public? Motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion.
We had a lot of discussion at our previous
Yeah.
meeting, I think, so I think we're pretty clear.
Everyone had a chance to look at the resolution that Hannah has prepared.
Yes,
Discussion of the resolution.
I didn't have any comments.
Motion to approve the resolution.
So, second.
So
Yeah,
back to
yeah.
the system.
Got it.
All those in favor to approve the resolution?
Who seconded?
That's okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Resolution has been passed. It will, and we made a note of this now, it will be 60 days until all bills have come in before the escrow account will be settled.
Okay,
At least 60
okay,
days.
no problem. So you don't need anything else from me, or?
We should be all set. The resolution will be filed in the next week with
Okay.
the town board.
Okay.
Don't respond to any invoices from anyone.
Yes. That was scary. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye.
Okay. Sorry. Next item on the agenda will be the Baldwin's. And this is a pre-application meeting.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm Jim Teed with Teed Engineering. I'm representing the project. Do you need a tripod for your? Yeah. Right over there. All right. I wasn't sure if you guys had like the plans in front of you, or if you need this too.
I could not get it.
I have not seen the plans at all.
It's always helpful to see
Yeah.
in person, so thank you. Sure did.
Not good. Gonna put a horse down tomorrow. My horse. Yeah, it's really not going well. Yeah. I try to keep it together.
Is this microphone working?
Eric, could you just make sure that mic is on? Just flip the...
It's on.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now it's screwed up.
Pressing things?
Oh, yeah, look at that. There's no actual-
You know what, I think maybe it put upside down? Oh.
Don't ask me any more questions.
Yeah, so this is the site. It's 66 acres. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's on the corner of Shumpike and Route 44. Currently, it's an operating barn, an operating farm. And what the applicant is looking to do is come in off this dirt road here, provide some parking.
Or Shumpike, sorry.
Well,
Where
this
the
is
driveway
Shumpike,
is, it's a
sorry.
Shumpike.
Yeah, it's a Shumpike here. So it'd be to come in off of here and have like an A-frame structure here and 2 platforms for yurts that would be seasonally operated as like a camp that people could come and see, come and stay.
And the A-frame, I'm just asking questions so that I know. The A-frame house is a full-time,
No, that would still be like a rented kind of thing for people that would be camping. It wouldn't be a full-time residence, but it would be available as a separate thing from the yurts.
And is the plan for this project to apply for short-term rental permits from the town as well?
That I do not know at this point. I kind of just wanted to get in front of the board and kind of see what the process was going to be.
What is it being
where we need to go.
used for now? Is the A-frame is existing?
No, none of this is existing. This is
Okay.
all proposed. So right now, this is all farm fields here. This is kind of like woods in here. There's an existing residence here. There's a barn here, another barn structure here. This is all kind of like woods in this area right now. And then up here is another barn and another residence is up here on the corner. And then the farm store's right here.
They have cattle on that field,
Yeah,
dairy cattle.
yep.
They sell raw milk still?
I think so.
No.
I'm not 100% sure.
no.
What,
They sell the Hudson Valley Fresh.
Right.
what kind of camp is being proposed?
So it would just be like I think for people to just come and enjoy nature.
So not
Really.
summer camp?
No,
This is
nothing
like a
like
campground-
that. Yeah,
campground.
yeah. But it would be very small. We're talking about 3 buildings, not
Three rental units?
yeah, three units, not like a giant bunch of cabins and tent sites or anything like that.
So it would be to build an A-frame house or structure, living dwelling?
Yep, and then
to
have
build
the 2 yurt.
sites for
Yeah.
yurts?
Yeah, with it, and maybe possibly, expanding to a couple more yurts or something in the future if the demand is there for it. But right now, this is the,
So would the permit that you would apply for, would it be for up to 10 or up to 5 units? Or would you come back?
I think we would come back.
Okay.
And remind me how many acres it is?
66 acres, yeah.
And none of the other existing structures would be coming down?
No, yeah, everything else would be remaining as is.
And so you'd be tying into, would you be digging a new well, or would you be tying?
Yeah,
into
so we would
water?
need a new well. I'm kind of showing like an area for potential septic systems here right now. We haven't done any of the soil testing to vet any of that stuff yet, but a use like this isn't going to produce a lot of flow. So I think the septic system footprints will be relatively small.
And distance from the proposed sites to the wetlands?
Yeah, here, I think I have a zoomed in one here. Here we go. So, yeah, I mean, this, none of this has been survey located, but there's like an intermittent stream that runs through here right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to maintain at least 100 feet. I think I'm more like about 115 right now. Yeah, 115 feet, just to kind of give us a little bit more of a buffer. And this septic is just an over-designed septic that I came up with for now as a placeholder until we do the actual soil testing.
So how many structures are on the property?
Yeah, so,
I see at least a couple residences.
yeah, there's an existing residence here, there's another one up here. There's a farm store, and then we have a barn, some silos, and other 2 barn structures here, and like a little shed barn here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 structures now, and 2 of them are residents.
So which, if any, are considered the principal permitted structure, would you say?
I would guess probably this one up on the corner.
The store?
No, the one on the corner. The store's down here.
And both
And-
residents
Are either of those accessory dwelling units?
That I don't know. I mean, this stuff was all existing. I'm just showing it as it is.
They're
Yes.
both occupied?
Homes are?
Both
I believe
residences?
so, yeah. I know people are living here.
You know the rough age of the homes?
That I don't know, no.
And is one of those a rental, or are they both owned by and occupied by the primary owner?
No, I think this one is primary, this one may be rented. I might have that backwards.
So how many structures in total would be on the property if you were to build the A-frame? And I don't know if we count a yurt as a structure.
So I guess that would put it at 8.
8.
On 60 acres.
And 66.
Yeah.
66.
A yurt might be considered.
An R10.
I think Aaron found a provision that provides for glamping, which seems to include yurts. Yurts, sleeping pods, or motorhomes, but it's still it says outdoor camping for transient users, so I don't know that the A-frame would fall into that definition.
Yeah.
So maybe you might have a couple things,
Yeah.
including an accessory residence or 2 or 3, and some glamping and some.
Yeah, I would just recommend looking through the code look at the private camps
Okay.
requirements, because it seems to fit into that. It fits into glamping, even though I don't think glamping is a use that's listed in the use table specifically. I see it defined here, but it's not listed.
I think campgrounds is
as a
somewhere.
use.
Campground as a use and.
Yeah, I saw temporary camps require a special use permit.
Yeah, I think we're trying,
yeah.
we're trying to figure out what this would fall,
I know.
because I think you asked.
Well, that's why I'm here for the
Yeah,
pre-app meeting
yeah,
instead
we're
of the
trying to-
actual one, because it was confusing me too.
It looks like it's.
And so nobody's moving out, it's just another way to basically monetize the.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And what's the parking
acre.
situation over there? What would be sort of proposed? for
Yeah,
parking?
so, I'm just proposing that we would have,
Special use
you know,
permit, short-term
a
rental.
small
It's
area
from the
of
town.
like
It's from the town.
6 parking spaces right
And
there.
unless, I just went through that, unless somebody's living there
Yeah,
100 days a year.
I'm just proposing like 6 spaces right here.
And that's, sorry, where's the Shell Pike?
So here's Shumpike here.
Okay,
This is 44. This is the existing.
so you drive in
Yeah,
on the
and then you would-
driveway and then
you
there's
would park
parking
here.
there, okay.
Yep.
Well, if they built 3
You know, and then
acres, 3
just a
structures,
short walk to here.
then that might be
Okay,
only 66 acres.
How did you come up with 6
Right,
parking
existing.
Well, they're only
I'm
having
just showing 6
two
for,
residences.
Is that one
I
parcel
figure,
or
you're
2
gonna
parcels?
have,
I think
maybe
so.
1 or 2,
In one parcel?
I
you
think it's
know,
one
maybe a
person,
car
so
for each one of these 3,
But
Right.
maybe
10.
an
There's only
employee,
2
so
current
that's 4.
residences.
And then, 2 extra in
Not counting
case, like,
agricultural
maybe they bring a
Not
friend
counting
or something, or
agricultural
they're
building.
meeting someone there.
And actually, the
Or
APO,
the shop?
But I mean, it's just
Thinking that
schematic at this
overlay,
point. I
you're
mean, it could
actually
be reduced, it could be
ag
expanded.
allowed to build another
Just wanted
residence
to
for
kind of get it all on paper so we'd have
workers.
something to talk about.
So I think that's probably how
So
we
there are
got away
2
with the
current
second house.
residences on the property,
Yeah,
and the other structures are non-residences. They're
Yes.
farming and agricultural and commercial uses.
yes.
So you're proposing adding one, the A-frame would be a permanent structure, it sounds like.
Yeah, the A-frame will be a permanent structure,
And the
yes.
yurts, are they
There would be like a permanent platform,
Okay,
but the yurts would be seasonally used. I think they would come down in the winters and then be, put back up.
okay, and then, the check-in structure would be, permanent, it sounds like.
Yeah, that would be permanent, so that would be like, it would provide a space for bathrooms for the yurts and also like a small office for the staff that would be running the farm, the camp operation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you
Yeah,
have?
I was just gonna say, I mean, this is a pre-app, so I don't have formal comment, but I
Sure.
have some thoughts as I'm looking at it. So, like I said, look through the private camps definition and the special permit applicability for that in the code, look at glamping, accessory dwelling units. I think there's a mix of everything here that's going on.
Yeah.
And the wetland issue, I know there's a stream there, it looks like.
Yeah,
I would recommend that be delineated, at least the
Sure.
ordinary high water mark, so that you can definitely get the distance from it, and also make sure there's no other wetlands that are like around this.
yeah, I know off this way, there's a DEC mapped wetland,
Right. I saw
but it's
that.
like way far away.
And that's
from-
one of those
from where
previously
we're
mapped
now.
ones, and now
Yeah.
the regulations have been kind of changed
More strict, yeah.
recently. due to a lawsuit that kind of halted things, but.
And I know that that wet area might extend up into here, so like
Yeah, I
this
would recommend-
existing drive would
Yeah.
probably certainly be within that buffer.
If you have a survey already, I mean, getting somebody out there just to, because of the fact that private camps specifically, in the code talks a lot about how you have to separate the structures and the septic from these things. Having somebody out there to, a professional
Sure.
scientist to verify, and then the town has Steve Marino, who's their wetland consultant, that can
Okay.
also visit your consultant out in the field, and they can just coordinate, but.
Would
I
he
feel like-
just do the flagging himself?
He could also do
Like
it that way.
bypass
That would just
having
be
two
It would be a
specialists?
fee to
Yeah.
the applicant. The town could ask Steve to go out and do it too. That's totally
Is
possible.
that
If you look at the town's website, the wetland maps are there, you can kind
Yeah.
of do an
So
overlay.
the NRI map number 12 is
Yep.
the wetlands map for the town. There's also the DEC mapper, which shows the previously mapped ones, and you're right, there is one further west.
Yeah.
So I would look at both of those, but also, I think it needs to be, because we're dealing with a special permit and like a site plan associated with it, having those on a plan is important. And if the applicant has an attorney, or possibly, and that might be a good idea, just because
Okay.
of all the code intricacies here and the different definitions of things and where they might fall, because I don't think this board has seen an application like this in recent years, so.
And with all these
Yeah.
structures, I think if there are pre-existing non-conforming structures or uses, then those should be identified as well. Otherwise, we're
Okay.
going to be looking at potentially multiple, many different approvals that will need to take place.
I think all the buildings are gonna fall under the APO.
It's possible. It's also possible that they did like a lot line change and made it all one lot at some point, so those two houses ended up on the same lot.
The APO would allow for farm worker housing, so they could have got it that way as well.
Yeah, that's why an attorney is important, probably.
And probably, and you might need a wetlands application, so that's.
And this all is upon of the formal application. to the
Yeah, of
place.
course, yeah. Yeah, I figured before I started chasing, going down all these rabbit holes, I'd talk to you guys first and making sure.
You might also
we're on
want to
the
have a
same
conversation with the town building inspector to determine whether short-term rental permits would be required,
page. Okay,
and whether those would be issued per unit, or if it's a cumulative business, say with 3 units, 2 yurts, and a frame or
Gotcha.
something, whether that might be under one permit. But that's something I think that he hasn't faced before.
Because there are limits on the amount of days that you can rent it out. And hopefully those numbers would make sense with their business plan of investing in an attorney and all the other
And very
things.
stringent or strict residency requirements as well. You have to live, the owner has to live on site for a certain number of days. I think it's 100 per year. So
to have the camp operation or
to get any kind of, to obtain a short-term rental permit in the town of Flushing.
Okay,
So you can read the law. And
Gotcha,
talk to the
yeah,
building
I got
inspector
you.
as well, but-
okay.
But that's not our,
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
And well, yeah.
Could you tell me again, what's the plan for the A-frame? How's that different than the yurts?
I think it would just be available to, be rented out all year round versus just having the yurts available in the warmer months.
And the A-frame would count against the acreage, like it's another dwelling unit.
I'm assuming unless in one of the definitions it can fall into one of these camping or glamping, but from what we just read, it seems like that's all kind of transitory seasonal. So I'm
The
guessing
yurts.
the A-frame would have to be it's a permanent, it's a year-round.
Residence. It could-
Yeah, it would be
So I think it
a
would have to be
year-round
an accessory
structure.
dwelling instead of a part of the camp. And I heard you say you might do a couple yurts now and maybe some additional later. And the board knows I'm concerned about seeker and segmentation, so I think the board would consider perhaps having some kind of upper limit and not just
Sure,
adding.
yes.
yurts.
I would advise you, like when you apply for the permit to do this, that if you would try to say up to 5
Yes.
units or whatever you
Yeah.
think it
Okay.
could be instead of coming back. I think that
Yeah.
would be better.
Well, I mean, we could
for
always
your
show more and build less, right?
It's
Yes.
better, otherwise you're
Yeah.
coming back
Yes.
and the
Sure.
board has to do this all over
Understood.
again, and so do you, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
It'd
it'll be
better
helpful to
think-
understand the difference
to
in
say
the,
up to
again, the A-frame
yurts.
that tends to be
Yeah.
a long-term rental, or as opposed to the others. I see some coming for the weekends. That
yeah, no, the intent was for the A-frame to also be like somebody coming for the weekend, but it
Got it.
just,
But it's
if they
gonna-
wanted to come in the winter.
Yeah, they're going to have to be looked at, I think, completely separately because the A-frame or any structures like that are permanent residential
Right, okay.
dwellings. And then the yurts are going to be looked at under a whole different section of some kind of camping, what was it called?
Glamping.
Glamping.
And I think
So
Susan just reminded me that I think it came out from the hospitality changes in 2024. That term is new in the code. So,
under two totally different
Yeah.
sections,
Gotcha.
you would have to, it's almost like two separate
Yeah.
At
things.
least.
Be better to build 3 A-frames or to build 10 glamping spots. But the mixing it up, it's not going to be under one. It's going to have to considered on 2 separate pathways.
Okay.
This is gonna be a difficult application.
Well, I'm glad I showed up for a
Applications.
pre-app then. So.
This should
Yeah,
make
we,
it a lot easier.
ultimately, we just want to come here and make sure we're not crazy for like proposing this, you know, it's like,
We can't comment
seems
on
like
that.
it seems to be a mix of a lot of different things that the
Yeah.
town does have in their code. So, like I said, just coming
Yeah.
in with a pretty robust application. But
all right.
an attorney to discuss.
And definitely identify all the pre-existing non-conforming.
Yeah, and the
That's
wetlands,
fine.
and also there's a seeker required for this, and
Yep.
I'm familiar with the EAF
Mhm.
mapper. I think so,
Mhm.
use that and
Yeah.
submit the
Just
short
Memorial
EAF.
Service.
Start
Okay,
with.
you think this one would require a full EAF or?
It's very
It depends on what we end up typing.
And I'll probably just do a full EAF just in case, because I don't want to submit a short EAF and then you guys are like, actually, we can't move this to public hearing now or start secret process because you submitted the wrong EAF.
Sounds like you've
Well, I
been
don't
discussed a lot.
All
You
right.
can do that, sure.
And again, just to emphasize, if you think they want to have 5 yurts, you should apply
Yeah,
for up to 5
understood.
yurts,
Okay.
or whatever number they want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's the first yurt.
Should I leave this out? Does anybody else need this?
Glamping or yurts, yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Next item on the agenda is going to be Metcalf's at 1215 Shunpike. You can slide the chair right up. Hello. How you doing? Good. What do we got going on?
So we are representing our client, or the general contractor, and he would like to put a new sun porch and a covered porch addition onto his residence. The total square footage of both of them together is 820 square feet. We went,
2 porches.
yes, of both porches. One of them was, the sun porch was pre-existing with the house. When it was purchased, it was in pretty bad shape, so he did demo it. And we're hoping to rebuild in the same footprint, but adding on a little bit of square footage to it. I think it's an additional approximately 100 square feet added to what was already existing. And then the covered porch is all new, which is 484 square feet being added.
484. And you have already been in front of the ZBA.
Yes.
And the total square footage of the house, the square footage of the house?
2,996.
Okay.
And
How
the
much?
addition is, the existing house is 2,996 square
I was gonna say
feet,
that.
and the addition is 820 square feet.
Sounds
So I think
right.
we
So it's
were
at 27%, which, and the code is for 25%. Right,
Yes. But
but the
the,
ZBA gave the variance, right?
yes, but if you consider the screen porch, the portion of it that was already existing there, it was about 300 square feet. So if we, I guess if you considered only what is new, you would take that 300 square feet off of the 820 square feet, and it would put us under the
Pretty well within
25%. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be like, more like 500 square feet being added to a 3,000 square foot.
29, yeah.
ZBA's already approved.
And so the new covered porch and the new three-season porch, which was the existing structure?
The screen porch.
This porch was existing here.
Okay, so the larger of the two is
Yep.
the existing, the new three-season porch is the existing structure that's being rebuilt?
Yep, and then this would
And then
basically
the
be
covered
new,
porch.
and then
Okay.
the Shunpike Road runs parallel with the front of the house.
Okay. And the existing porch, was that same footprint or similar? Or?
Just a little.
Very similar.
Yeah, it was like a little less this way, I think.
Okay.
It kind of went with the house inward, and we're squaring it off before it kind of went with, it was an L shape, I
Oh, I
guess.
see, I see.
And
Okay.
We're just bringing out the edge, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see. There's the.
So it's before us because it's over the 25%. Is that, that's it? Okay. And it's not extending into the wetlands buffer or anything like that?
No, it's more than 200 feet from the wetlands, which is pretty much on the other side of the property.
It's interesting that the footing that's already there for the screened porch is included in the expansion, since it's already existing.
Well, I guess they said because we took it down because it was pretty much falling down, or we're technically rebuilding it new, so.
Had a lot of porches.
Hmm?
Had a lot of porch applications lately.
Yeah.
This is the one, one of the ones, like the last meeting, we talked about instances where the board might like to waive site plan. And I think because we haven't decided on that yet, it may be appropriate to proceed and hold a public hearing on this until the board decides and
Definitely.
determines when and how to apply that. But I think otherwise, Aaron, you have rights on this other than?
No.
Seeker?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of these, it goes to the ZBA for the 25% variance and any other setback variances it needs. But that provision of the code requires a planning board site plan approval after. So the ZBA had a public hearing, they also type 2'd it for seeker. The customary way, what we've done is, for the planning board, is do the same thing, type it for seeker. The site plan action is a different action technically, is how we've been looking at it. And then you have a public hearing for the site plan action. But yeah, for this one, there wasn't anything flagged. The wetlands are pretty far away. Doesn't need county referral.
I mean, it's up to me, I'd wait.
So it's really just a matter of having a public hearing. And they addressed the comment that we had was add the signature blocks to the site plan because that has to get signed, and they did that already. So
Yep.
it's been taken care of.
Anybody have any problems? Questions, comments, concerns?
Did anybody show up for the ZBA public hearing?
No, not for the public hearing.
Motion to classify as type 2?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to set the public hearing for the July meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks a lot.
What's the date on that public hearing, Lisa?
July 7th.
7th?
Yeah.
July 7th?
Yep.
At 6 p.m.
You know
To
how
be
it
in
works.
contact with Lisa as
The
far as
postcards.
doing the
You've already done it.
notifications for the public hearing. She'll give you the addresses and then you're responsible for sending them out,
Okay.
just like ZBA.
It's the same, yeah.
Exactly the same. You just gotta do it again.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Is this the last time?
Okay.
Chair, maybe someone else needs it.
Yeah, no, we got two more to go. You can leave one. Okay, next item on the agenda will be Silverbrook Manor.
Oh, you have to recuse yourself.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Hi, Lisa.
Okay,
Okay.
so how are we doing tonight?
Great. How are you?
Been a week, right?
Yes.
Usually I prefer to have the board members say that they're recusing themselves.
Oh, Emily,
Yes.
she would like you to say it on record.
That you're recusing yourself.
Can I borrow the mic? I'm recusing myself for this meeting.
Drop the mic.
Great.
Oh, okay. Tell us a little bit about what you want to do, because this doesn't really fit anywhere with the way, with the permit that you're asking for. It doesn't really fit as a educational institution. It doesn't really fit as a club. Some of the stuff is kind of allowed by right through, under the APO. So tell us what you want to do or what your plans are, so that we can.
Yeah, I'll start. We both have comments on this. Thanks for hearing us out.
Yes.
So I'm William, this is Mindy. We're husband and wife. We're both owners of Silverbrook Manor. And this property has been a farm since before the Revolutionary War. So it's really interesting. It has a ton of history. Over the last 5 years, we've been putting significant investment into the land as well to regenerate it and bring it back into its glory from a farming perspective. And so we've got about 54 acres. And what we're looking to do is actually open this up to the community in a way that they can share in the processes and the planting and the weeding and the harvesting and all the things that we love about farming, which we've been learning over the last 5 years intensively with other educational partners and all the classes you've been doing.
Yeah.
So this is a way to have a special permit to say, listen, like rather than a typical CSA where you would pay a membership and just get food, you have food gathered to pick up, this is saying, this is a part of that, but it's more of a modernized CSA to say, become a member, very small and intimate because it is our home, we live there. Become a member, be able to have a harvest, but be able to also participate in the growing of that, to learn and be part of the land. And it's something many people have expressed desire about. It's something that has changed our lives and something that we'd like to share with the community.
Yeah, let me add to it a little bit. I'm Mindy Yang. I don't know if you guys know me, but so William and I have been living in Millbrook for 5 years. I am the co-founder of the World Taste and Smell Association. I do a lot of healthcare research. I just came from the Culinary Institute of America.
Which is a nonprofit as well.
Oh yeah, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, but it's global. I do research with Monell Chemo Sensory Center. We're doing a clinical trial with New York Presbyterian, Cornell actually, the New York Taste and Smell Center, on retronasal olfaction rehabilitation, which is a taste and smell flavor rehabilitation research. I work with NASA on Deep Space Food Consortium. The last 5 years, so I grew up in the city. I am a Reiki master since the 20s. William, as some of you guys know, work in food, beverage, hospitality, in design. So we really advocate on human experience and connection, especially now with AI, it's about IRL. So I grew up in the city. My grandmother was 93, had a tiny little garden, and she grew medicine, and we had bitter melon that helps with diabetes. We had figs. I had 5 kinds of tomatoes growing up in Queens, and growing up and as a through my 20s and 30s, young adult, I would rent a zip car to come up to the Hudson Valley to take a hike and really learn about the food. And for my 30s and 40s, I'm fragrance and flavors development. I consult for Moet Hennessy. I created the Shandong Garden Spritz products, the educations program. So I work very deeply with distillers, farmers, people that are actually just talking about fragrance and flavors, chemists, and all this stuff. And what I've learned since we moved here is terroir matters, the soil matters. And because we're across the street from Cornell, from also the USDA, I became really good friends with Lydia and Amy and Lauren. And they've helped us get a high tunnel. We have a research high tunnel. You're all welcome to come see it. I research and we heat with Botany. We spent too much money trying to research lavender, different species, lemongrass. And I have conversations with regenerative farmers, and I have conversations with maple Cornell teachers from all across the USA, because I was taking maple classes because we have more than 200 maple trees. Long story longer, we now have a product research for maple infusion products through the Cornell Venture Center. We've been having active conversations with the Culinary Institute of America, the professors that do R&D, with the USDA, the Dutchess County ag navigators on our side. They really think that there's true value to invite the community to come and take walks with us, to observe the seasons, learn how to forage. We know the difference that, now as we're going into summer, the season is getting warmer, Mother Nature does not wait. The raspberry leaves blossoms are in bloom now. In 3 weeks, we're gonna have berries. What if we don't have a 4-H program in Millbrook. This has been brought to my attention. We've been talking to the Millbrook Business Association. We've talked to other farmers in this area. What if we were able to create opportunities for people to come up and just spend a few hours with us, and instead of just having a transaction through a CSA, come and grow with me. Come for a walk with me for very, very little moments of participation, or much longer through the season, through the year. Come, grow with me, go home with the food. I don't want to harvest for you. We sell eggs to Moronas, but we don't want to be like harvesting herbs and hoping that the perishable goods will go to the right person. It's better to pick the berry while it's warm from the sun and learn if you can eat dandelions and mugwort. Has a really bad invasive reputation here, but it was used for so many things, and you can make teas, and mullins is great for respiratory issues. So these are the things that I have so much knowledge of, and I'm still learning, and I would like to get people to come and teach me how to learn how to use specific tools and farm safety classes, and really just get communities together to cultivate peer-led programs. Problem is, we live there. 24/7 we live at I'm there 7 days a week. Come by, I'm there. Probably my overalls. So what helps with a farm club kind of access, which is a part of that special zone umbrella permit that we are technically, is listed. So Jonathan said listed under the rights to use for our land, is we would like to have no more than 15 to 50 people, maximum at a time.
Say that again?
15 to 50 people.
15 to 50?
Maximum at a time, because quality over quantity. It's better to have everyone gather and teach and learn from each other. And my sweet spot's 15. It's unrealistic to say everything's gonna be 15. We have 54 acres of land, pastures, forest, and actively being grown and researched. We would like to share some of that. And we would like to invite other people that are traveling. Like right now, again, I just came from the Culinary Institute of America. There are amazing partners from California, from the South, that are researching regenerative farm stuff. They're from universities, they're from nonprofits. We would like to be able to have little conversations to learn together and also share this with the community. Also working with the Millbrook Business Association, we talked about the Rotary Club, we talked about working with the library, working with other schools. So again, the navigator for our county is really excited about this. She's like, call her if you have any questions. And I'm of course happy to share anything that you would like to know.
Yeah. And we did consult with Jonathan, and he suggested this is the route that we should take. So before Jonathan left.
The permit.
The building inspector.
Yeah.
Code enforcement.
Well, I have some, I'm just trying to get a sense of what would it look like with 50 people? How would they, what would be, tell us, how would they get there? What would they do?
Sure. So yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sure.
Yeah, where do you have 50 parking spots?
Yeah, so we have, again, 54 acres. We have 3 points of entry into the property. We think 2 of those could be utilized. We think one is specifically perfect for this on Tyrell Road. So it's a road that comes off of Tyrell into the back of the property. It's completely invisible to...
You have a survey in case we need to take
So
Tyrell's a little narrow.
It's not even a stencil-lined road. So all the people that live on there would then have 50 cars coming through there.
So we have 44 in Tyrell. 50 is going to be a
Very rare
gathering
occurrence.
because again, how many classrooms do you go to where you have actual one-on-one learning? We're really about demonstration and sharing over time,
So what
not
is-
parties,
Yeah.
not gatherings that are, we don't want fairs. We don't want
Yeah,
to,
we're just, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
we're just responding to
Of
you, to
course.
the number that you said. So
It's like saying up to 5 homes. We would
Occupancy,
say-
75 for this room.
If you're asking us to respond to a plan
Of course.
that
Of
calls
course.
for access for 50
Of course.
So-
people, that's,
So just, I'm sorry, it's, when I say 50, just for context, it's like this room is maximum occupancy 77 persons. Our sweet spot and our desired gathering moment is 15 people, and to be clear, during daytime only, because we don't want them to stay, 2 to 3 hour sessions. Ideally, they're coming, they're doing some kind of learning and growing with us, or they're watering and weeding. We have for the members and sometimes community or friends of members, they can come and weed with us. Then please go home with some herbs or veggies. And we live there. We don't want people to be over our house.
Would this be more of an educational program that you're?
Yes, and I think that's
There's
very
a lot of
clearly in the
things that could be,
packet.
yeah.
It's
club
ag.
Is a totally different thing.
Yeah, so members, we say members because we want to vet anyone and everyone that comes here or is invited by someone that we know. Because again, we live on the property, it's for privacy and it's also for security. This is meant to be ag-centered, education-centered, education-focused.
So would it be on weekends, and how many weekends a year? And so are you gonna have 15 people every weekend for 2 hours? Because that would be, still, even if it's just 15 people, that's a lot of coming and going.
We would only do probably one event at the maximum per day, and we're not doing it every day, because again, we have families and we have lives, and I do research and I run a nonprofit. So it would be also during the week. It would be very spaced out. You have 2 maximum activities per day. Ideally just one,
So
because,
one event per day with 2 activities?
and not every
that's the
day.
address handy.
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
understand.
The
So
address,
one
put
event
it
per
on
day
here.
with 2 activities per event? Is that kind of, I'm just trying to, there's a lot of information to sort through here, so I'm
Of
just trying
course.
to understand how it looks and what we're talking about in terms of people coming and going and all of that.
Of course. So the program would be published in advance. It's time with the season. If we're foraging for specific things versus, like if we're teaching about berries and we have a group, then that's it. That's the group that's coming in with a maximum of whatever the number may be. Again, my sweet spot's 15. And if there's more because there are more guides, then that's what it is. But these are short, time-based, day-based events. And it's not always just weekends, because we're teaching, and summer is a really wonderful opportunity to engage with teenagers, with activities with mom and their children. So the idea is we want members, or even chefs, people that are already cooking, farm to table, can they grow vegetables with us and show people what they're growing, but really take it to their restaurant instead of us selling it on a regular basis and make it a business. It's about teaching and learning from each other. So we're not doing an open cast, please everybody join this and that. It's about invite only. We want to say, you are a guide. We're closing the knowledge gap, because as I have learned, I've taken 7 small farms master classes with Cornell, nights and weekends, online. I've taken the Empire State Empowerment. I'm certified in farming. I have done research with a lot of different organizations, nonprofit, all around regenerative ag. And there's always knowledge gaps, because nobody, even my high tunnel teacher, who's wonderful, told me that once a year I need to run a tractor through it. We don't have a tractor. We're talking about reducing carbon footprints.
Well, tractors destroy the regenerative work that we're doing.
So we're talking about, we have some animals.
There's a lot of contradictions we're trying to also clear up.
Yeah, we're teaching food has never been this expensive. Everybody knows how to buy food, but when is the last time you know how the food is grown? If you have ever grown anything in your own garden, I mean, here, fortunately, I think we are lucky because we have land and many people have this opportunity to grow your own tomato, but it's not easy and it's extremely expensive. But what if you can make your own fertilizer or understand how to make your own amendments without having to worry about tariffs and import fertilizers and how now suddenly we can't grow crops. This is why AG is really excited about our opportunity to gather a circle of knowledge to really, in a very small way, form some kind of leadership knowledge exchange via this exchange of like having a gathering place for education.
It sounds, it's not, I don't think anybody's gonna argue with you about the philosophy and the need for it. It sounds commercial. It sounds like a commercial venture in a residential area to me.
Farms need to be able to make money, right? We have a right to have farm-related programming, I believe, as the right to farm, as a farm. We are a farm. We have an agricultural overlay, and we have a farm number, and we're farming 7 days a week.
Yeah,
and so this is a way to help support.
So would they be farm workers? Would they be considered farm workers?
No. Well, they're, if you want to label them that, but they're the community. They're the community that come in and help participate in some of the financial pressures and the infrastructure that's necessary.
It's like a CSA.
There's a membership program. There's also potentially maybe a ticketed event for someone that wants to do a forage. One of the members wants to potentially lead a mushroom foraging in our 10 acres of forest, which is completely isolated. We would love to be able to do that. We just did something similar at Opus 40, granted different.
We pay $75 to go for a walk with a.
And we're looking to be much more
lady.
approachable and to share the land with people that value it and want to have this type of experience. It seems like a very positive and very doable thing to do in a community like this, and so that's why we're asking for the special permit.
We want to show people. Sorry,
you don't need to convince us on the philosophy or the background or anything. What we really need to get into is the details of how this could impact the community around you and whether or not the code permits it. That's what we need to get to.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So you said that the parking access, for example, earlier in your remarks, would be coming out off of Terrell Road. I'm just looking at the satellite imagery, and wondering if you could tell us where specifically you would plan on parking between 15 and 50 automobiles.
Sure.
Also, I'm not sure you can come on Terrell Road with 50 cars in the neighborhood. I think your access point has to be on 44 because it's a highway.
Okay.
I don't think you can be bringing that through a neighborhood because that's going to have a huge impact on your neighbors.
We're open to feedback.
And this is a rural zoned or a residentially zoned area.
It's well paved.
If we
it is, but it's not center marked. There's no center line.
It's narrow.
Yeah.
It's very narrow. I just think for traffic management, I think you'll have to come. The entrance is going to have to be off of 44.
So we have an entrance. We have two entrances on 44. The westmost entrance, it's a little hard to see, sorry, is here, and we believe that we can. Well, we've cleared land here to park along 44. And there could be a single row of cars here, and there could be a couple other rows here if we wanted to park in the fields.
Right, basically across the street from the farm offices. And we did say this
right
to
here.
Jonathan, because that's where our high tunnel is as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you say parking along 44, do you mean within your property boundaries?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
along the road itself?
Within
We have
our
an
property.
abundance of fields.
To come
I
into
know
our
the
property.
I know the former owners,
Yeah,
Yes.
to come into the property, to then, there's a little road that we've made that goes west, and then we believe that people can park easily in the field right there.
I'm
Very
sorry,
flat.
what is this shape?
This is an existing paddock, horse paddock. And there's an entrance here. This is where our high tunnel is currently. This
It's
is where.
pretty visible from the road.
Yeah, we have
I'm just curious what that was.
Yeah, it's a fence. It's an.
And is there horses that use it?
We don't have horses. It was a former horse paddock from the last owners and beyond. Yeah.
But I'm still not clear exactly what kind of permit would be being applied for exactly, like what this would fall under.
So I have a lot of thoughts about this, all mostly very positive. You sound so smart, and I think, learning from you would be a privilege. And I think a couple of concerns that I have are stemming from specifically the definitions that we have under the code for membership clubs and educational institutions, because it sounds like you have a very holistic idea about what education means, and it's not really incorporated in this
definition of educational institution, which I think is very
Substantial.
westernized, and it's the model of education that means being in a schoolhouse and learning something and being educated in that way. So for that reason, like we said, I mean, that's not really something this board can address, whether the definition is sufficient. That's definitely the town board's prerogative, and so they can only go under what these definitions say. And same thing for membership club. It seems to describe kind of like a bocce ball kind of thing, like a recreational or athletic purpose. So then my secondary question would be, when you spoke to Jonathan, did he say specifically it was his view that this would require a special permit?
Yes, he thinks that it is the cleanest way because we also have animals. We already have stables. We don't have any horses though. It would just be best to have an umbrella kind of permit. And he's like, activate a special use permit because this is purely ag. And
which is going to be my next question, which is if this is all part and parcel of the underlying protected agricultural use, and this is kind of education that has to do with supporting the awareness and marketing of your farm, then my question would be, in instances such as that, I think ag and markets may protect that aspect of this use as well, in which case I'm not even sure where the
We initially thought that as well, but we, out of deference to the rules of the land here, we came to Jonathan to have a discussion to be sure that everything was kosher and that we weren't, doing anything out of turn.
Jonathan said he would feel better if we have a special use permit that is umbrella so that we are above board. Our ag and market and navigator team members are very excited about us and believes that this should be a part of Rights to Farm, but totally respect that every town have requirements and a special use permit may be required. And this is why we submitted such a specific package to describe all activities.
Yeah, and we wanted to be very forthcoming with everything that we're doing. If we do not require one, and part of me does also believe, that the law can be hard to decipher at times, but it does seem that much of it is under the Right to Farm protection.
And if it was something so obvious that falls into the educational or the membership, then I think very clearly the code would be covering that. Then yes, a special permit would be required. But I can't, because I'm not your lawyer, I can't advise you about how to proceed necessarily. But I think getting some kind of formal opinion from Jonathan, or even referring to Ag and Markets on the details of this application.
Yeah,
I can tell you that a comment from Ag and Markets would take 6 months.
We have actually on standby complete support, including NRCS. We have a forest management.
That's not Ag and Markets though.
Oh, but I have been, because we've been doing research for the maple infusion project, I have been speaking to the head of Ag Market, because we also have been working on a commissary kitchen with Wappingers, and I've been getting her guidance on which ones to work with. So I've been working very closely with all the organizations because I really care about wellness and food as medicine, food as health, and regenerative ag. This is what we need for this community. And we live in this beautiful place with access to land and water. I know you get the philosophy, but how many people actually have access to it that live around here? And how do you get a child to want to help grow food and learn about all the food that they can eat in their own backyard if you don't give them access to this knowledge?
In our contact, is it Ag and Markets?
Maxine. I'm happy to send emails, and
Maxine.
I don't know her last name. I have her phone number. I can text her. I'm happy to send this information to you.
In Albany or in Poughkeepsie?
Around closer to here, not Albany.
Okay.
But not Poughkeepsie. She would have to come to see me when I sign up for my commissary kitchen. She's been giving me recommendations.
Okay.
We've been working on other
A lot of this
projects.
stuff just sounds like running a farm and having a business of a farm.
I know, but we got a letter, and Jonathan would like for us to have a special use permit.
We can't.
What's that?
There's nothing in the code that kind of fits this. So
Yeah.
you have really no authority. You don't know what you're granting.
Right. We can't push them to get a permit if it doesn't fall into something that they.
There's no hole for it to fit in.
It's hard to be an innovator
You don't
around
need
here.
you don't need a permit because it's for an educational institution because it's on a farm.
Because the definition of educational institution doesn't seem to
Fit what they're
apply.
doing.
It's more like a CSA membership.
It's a
If
modified,
they're
but
modified,
any
that's
farm,
what we
farm would
I'm
offer.
sure there's plenty of farms around here that have CSA.
That offer CSA.
I mean, there's probably
Have
100 in
school
Dutchess
bus
County.
Kids come for the day and
Yeah.
take a tour.
I mean, even
I have
Stonewood,
one.
what
I have
kind of
two.
permits do they
I
have?
have two CSA memberships
And that's
for
not
two different
something
farms.
that-
So
When you
I
go
don't
to
know
the
why
farm.
people keep
When I
looking
go
at
to the
us,
farm and pick up
honestly.
my
It
box of
hurts my
produce and
feelings.
flowers.
They should have a permit, but they
They
don't
should,
have a permit.
Stonewood should.
I'm sorry, for what?
But we don't want to get them in trouble,
Operating
we
a
like them too.
For operating a
Judy,
restaurant?
I work,
No,
I
I
work
think
with
if they took
so
over
many farms,
The
all
alpaca
up
tours,
and
I
down.
think of walking with the animals, there's a,
Yeah.
what's the name of the farm again?
Clover.
They
I mean, we
absolutely
work,
should have a
I work
permit.
with so many farms
100%.
around the country.
Agreed, but until somebody,
They already use a 501(c)(3) and therefore it's not required.
but until somebody complains and takes that far enough, that's never gonna, but we're off track.
Yeah.
Sorry, so
That-
we-
that's a-
But it's a good
we're
question.
here for you, it's
I
just we
think the
don't have.
agricultural part of it, the CSA, the nature walks, all of those are pretty much permitted by right
As a farm,
in the APO.
Yeah.
Um,
We tend to agree, and I guess, the,
Yeah, as long as we stay away from
there's no-
lodging and having
We
four
don't want any of those, we have.
dinners and parties and that kind of stuff is gonna put you into another thing.
understood, yeah.
Um,
The only other thing I might say that could be disruptive, because it's disruptive in other places in Millbrook right now, is when you have 50 people come to your property to show off some event that's featuring your farm, the operation of running the farm. You want to show them how you grow the vegetables that they're going to take, or they get to snip their herbs, or do all these things. The concern for me only is that if you, that's outside of, I think, running a farm operation, is bringing 50 people in, I'm just using your number, because it creates potentially traffic issues. We have 50 people in a line trying to park on, off of 44, and I know there will be a problem if you try to bring them on Ontario Road, because the neighbors will get really upset. And now you've got a safety issue because the road is blocked. It's not even a two-lane road. So if you bring them on 44, there's some issues with traffic, safety, things like that,
Okay.
and parking all those people.
Well,
But
what
that's
re-
the only thing
what
that
would
seems
be a
outside of.
reasonable limit, would you
I'm just saying
suggest?
that's the only thing that even sounds like it's outside of operating regular farm operations.
So we're very open to all of these feedback because
And that-
as
seems
also
like a farm.
a very small team, and I'm the main farmer, and we have helpers, and you guys may know, getting really good help on the farm side when it's hot, it's very difficult. So less is more. It's about quality over quantity, and a lot of it is how do we create something that contributes to the community, that makes things better all around, and really can collaborate with, you know, our intention and kind of like activate regenerative health and farm and food systems and the whole ecosystem.
I guess we're just trying to figure out how we could be of service to you and how, what is the.
Guidance?
Well, the one thing I would ask, because why we're here is we did receive a letter from Jonathan
Yeah.
asking us to stop doing what we were doing, which was a little confusing to us.
We
So
had a farm tour.
What specifically was it that you were
What was he
doing?
asking you to stop?
Yeah, what were you doing?
We need a special use permit
But
to
to
do a
do
farm
what?
club. For
A
farm tour.
What did he
Farm
want you to
tour.
stop
Let me,
doing?
I
Farm
have it.
club.
Let me quote it.
Okay.
We received a complaint about commercial operations at the property. For-profit events being advertised,
Which is a $25 farm tour.
which is, I'm just scanning, I didn't,
And we're RL5, which we believe, and he believes, we are allowed to do these things. We just need a special use permit, special permit.
it does say membership clubs and educational institutions are allowed in the RL5 district by special permit from the planning board only.
So a membership club.
But he says membership clubs and educational institutions are by permit only, which,
But we don't think that you fall
you
in either
have-
one of those categories.
yeah.
Not as your attorney, but my recommendation is, is this just a letter or is this a determination? Does it say
It's a
on there?
letter.
It's a letter from
I
Jonathan.
think and I'm saying this I'm not speaking for the board, but I know
Yeah.
the way that I've seen the board operate in the past is that they don't want to prohibit the whole town really supports the agricultural uses, I think. That's kind of like,
Yeah.
this man has cowboy boots on.
I spent all last year passing a right to farm law, so.
But I think what I'm
Fantastic.
thinking in this instance is either the planning board can request that Jonathan issue a determination on this and say, here's why he thinks that there should be a permit of whatever it is in whatever instance,
And your right, if he issues a determination, is that you can appeal that determination to the ZBA. And then the ZBA has the ultimate authority to describe and define whether your use falls into which of these uses in the code or is purely agriculture. And I think that would be the best course of action. The planning board can't make that interpretation decision.
We can't.
On your website, you offer a farm stay, which is listed on VRBO.
We have a short-term rental
You
permit.
have one of the 5 permits in the town.
Yes.
Good.
And we only have that cottage. We don't want any more people to stay.
Right.
And that's
It's
separate
not
from your
fun.
farm operations.
Separate.
Yeah.
So the couple of things that I was going through, sorry, I walk carefully. Farm dinners and seasonal meals being offered, safety and outdoor survival training.
These are the ideas. If any of you do not want us to do it, we don't have to do it. And also, we are working with the Culinary Institute of America and also commissary kitchens, and we really want to use the opportunity to demonstrate how to cook with certain things. We can do it through conversations and recipe swap. Today, for instance, there's a blue food presentation, which is food from the ocean for sustainability at the Culinary Institute of America. They did a demo, and all of the cooking was canned food. They just plated and said you can plate mussels on a bruschetta, and it's a delicious way to serve and like an $18 entree. So it's really just about teaching people how to cook with nettles.
It really doesn't have anything to do with us wanting or not wanting you to do this. It sounds like a great endeavor. It's just, the planning board really doesn't have anything to offer you, I don't think, right now. I think you have to follow the advice, which is to get a determination letter from the building inspector and the code enforcement person, Jonathan.
Okay.
And you can see if you agree, and if you don't agree, then you can
Go to the
apply
ZBA.
to the ZBA.
And I'm so sorry, what is the ZBA?
Zoning
Board Authority.
Yeah, of appeals.
Board of Appeals.
Yep.
And is
Yeah.
this
If
something
you
that we
will-
bring like letters of support to? Because I mean, I feel like Jonathan's into it. Somebody made a complaint.
It doesn't
that
matter
made
if
him-
anyone's
You
into
know,
it or not. It's
right.
what the code says.
Right, if you're already,
Meaning he felt the code, well,
Right, he didn't know how to interpret it.
contradictions, yeah.
right, do you know the nature of the
She gave me
complaint?
the best advice you've heard.
Yeah, I
And-
think he's just
and that's
saying we
where
need a special.
I don't know, but he referenced a complaint. Do you know what the nature of the complaint
It
was?
says commercial activity,
just how
but we are a
It's always
farm.
anonymous.
No,
and
I'm
not,
sure
you
it's-
know,
It's very vague.
No one wants to
I
be
really,
That doesn't-
I really think we need a letter of determination from him citing why he thinks there should be a special permit required, and then
Okay.
you can get the letter and decide if you agree with it or disagree. And if you disagree, then you can bring it to the zoning board
Okay.
of appeals.
Just formally on record, I would like to invite anyone who has any questions about what we're doing to come spend some time with me, because we keep getting these really weird guessing things around Silverbrook Manor, and we're really just trying to contribute to the community and the future of sustainability.
Okay, so
So-
we'll speak with Jonathan, we'll get a letter of determination. The next step, just to clarify,
Yep.
if we don't agree with that, is to appeal to the zoning board of appeals.
Yes.
Yep.
And then
I
whatever they
think the
say, then we'll.
Majority of what you want to do falls under the APO,
Right.
and you're gonna
Yeah,
be your path is a little straighter forward through the APO.
okay.
No special use permit required.
Okay. Thank you.
Great, thanks for your advice and hearing us out.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And please come see us.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay.
We still have like a number.
No, we're almost done.
Bonnie's
Sorry.
in.
Bonnie's in.
Let's see.
Come on up.
Oh, this is the last one.
I know you saved the best for last, so.
That's it.
Sorry. Thanks for having me, appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in. Sure. And, I'm sorry, you're the owner, or?
I'm James, yes, I'm the owner.
We need Emily back here.
Is she still here?
She's in Bermuda. Oh, my Emily. The Emily on the application is in Bermuda.
Sorry.
Quite literally.
So
I'm the owner.
Emily is the applicant,
Yes.
but you are the owner of the property?
Yep.
Okay. I think I was missing an authorization, but if you're the owner, then I guess we.
I am. I thought we'd signed all those, but I know I have copies of everything, but if I'm missing something, obviously.
Lisa, that was there, wasn't it? We asked about it. We asked about it. It's there.
Can I get by?
I do remember asking.
Okay. Maybe I'm
Um,
Oh,
I can resend it to you.
no, I have
Okay.
it. Oh, but the owner is the trust.
Nope, I'm the owner. It's been transferred just to my name.
Okay, do you have that subsequent deed?
I do.
It went from Margaret
Yep.
to Margaret's trust.
Yep,
And through the trust to
Me.
you as the sole owner?
sole owner. That's everything.
Is this a copy?
That's the original, actually.
Okay,
But I can make a
I'll
copy.
give this back to you then.
Okay, give us a little explanation of what you're thinking here.
Basically, my parents bought the house in 1974. It's the house I grew up in. Both my parents died like 2023, 2024. My brother moved over to Connecticut. I don't want to sell the house, but it's expensive to keep, and I live in Manhattan half the time. I'm here pretty much just weekends. And Emily, hey, I know Emily because she helped take care of my parents when they were getting older and aging in place and all that. So that's how she and I have a relationship. And I had originally thought of, trying to just rent the house on a yearly basis, and it was, that proved to be harder than I thought it should be, but is what it is. And based upon like a little research, Emily happens to live near the Inn at Pine Plains up there, and her husband works for the couple of the Mannings that own it. So we had a pretty good, idea of what would be possible, that you could see in our business plan. So really, it's like, my goal is really to be able to afford to keep the house. And also, I just don't want to, sell it. I'm not sure, 10, 20 years what my plans would be, but I'd like to, not sell it. So it's really, that's where it came from. And that's, and it was more interest. I'm less interested in like the traditional Airbnb, VRBO type of thing. It's a little more interested in bed and breakfast.
So owner occupied, so you'd be there on weekends?
On weekends, I work for myself, so I can work remotely, so, I could be, I'm spending the night tonight, because I'm here, so, but, I'll be there at least once a week, at least one day a week, if not, more.
So somebody else will be running the operations.
Emily will be.
Yeah.
And she will live there?
Nope, she won't live there. But she'll be, she'll be in charge of, managing it and, check in, check out, things like that.
For bed and-
I'm not
bed and breakfast, right?
sure
Because
how
don't
that
you need- is
falls
it
under
bed and
owner
breakfast, somebody needs to
occupied.
live there?
Huh?
Somebody needs to live there for a bed and
According to
breakfast.
the code, yeah.
Yeah.
So 24/7?
That's the idea of a bed and
That's-
breakfast, that's what's required, yeah.
Oh,
It's in
that
the
I was,
code.
well, that I was unaware of.
That what?
I was unaware that it was 24/7. I know it needed to be owner occupied. I just didn't realize that meant specifically owner occupied 24/7.
I mean, not 24/7, but I think, on balance, somebody's living there, not occasionally stopping in.
Well, and I don't want to speak for her, but I don't think the plan is to occasionally stop in. Because obviously there might not be someone there 24 hours a day. So,
Will it be her residence?
no, it won't be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the issue.
Yeah,
Okay.
the applicant
Thank you.
must be the owner and must reside in the residence.
It's just
So-
it's the code, it's in the
Yeah.
code.
Sure, I understand, but if what is sufficient then?
That it's her
Yeah, you
primary
can,
residence.
you could read the
but she
code
lives
one more
there.
time just
I
so you
just
could hear it.
So wherever you live, you're free to go out and do whatever.
No, of course I said, but,
She lives there, it's her registered address, she
She's
gets
the
her
owner.
mail there, she owns it.
applicant.
And she's the owner. Or no.
okay, I'm the only owner, so I guess what I'm saying is
I don't think
what
that's what the
qualifies?
deed says.
Okay.
I think you are co-trustees with Ronald.
That's my brother, but okay, I'll get clarification of the deed because I know it's been transferred from the trust to him and I to him, just to me.
Okay.
So
A
I'll get
subsequent-
that, absolutely. But as far as primary residence,
So it says, and I read the code,
Yeah, I have it.
read the code. The applicant must be the owner and must reside in the residence, which is to be the bed and breakfast facility unless an accessory structure is to be converted to a bed and breakfast. So either way, the applicant must be the owner and must live there. That has to be their primary residence.
Which I totally agree with, but if I'm here, is there a number of days of the week? That's what I'm trying to clarify. Like, if I'm here, like, I'm not gonna sit here and BS you guys and say, oh, yes, I'll be here 7 days a week. But if there's a number where it can balance, like, I mean, I have the ability to do that, because my goal is
The
to.
short-term rental permit application has a specific number, and that's 100 days per year.
Okay.
But that's a different process, a different qualification.
Understood, but I mean, it's.
I'm rolling through it. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
pardon me, I'm
I mean,
refreshing
bed and
my,
breakfast, we have different kinds of things that are allowed under the code in terms of, guests staying. And you have a bed and breakfast. And a bed and breakfast is one that contemplates somebody, in your home or in an accessory structure, and you're, essentially hosting them, and, you live there and they're coming into your home.
Sure.
Short-term rental is something different. You can read the code on that. That has its own requirements and an application process, but there's no kind of negotiating what it means to live there.
Okay.
It's a traditional bed and breakfast.
So it sounds like maybe the Airbnb or like short-term rental may be more what you're going to actually do.
Well, and also, to be frank, what can be done. Unless, well, right, sure, I mean, to be honest.
You should look at those requirements.
Okay.
Which I think, I agree, might be more suitable.
For what it's worth, Emily and I.
She could still run it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I probably wouldn't even be sitting here if that wasn't the case, but to be honest, we sort of took this track because we felt that maybe that was sure ideologically more what we wanted to do, but also practically that might be simpler, but that's obviously not the case.
Or you could
not simpler, but given the fact that she lives in Pine Plains and I'm in New York more days than not, et cetera.
Or you could rent it out for longer than 30 days. You could,
Which I tried
to rent out the house, right?
I did try to do that, but it wasn't. A lot of people came back and were like, "Oh, we'll give you $2,500 a month for the whole house."
It sounds like Airbnb, where you rent rooms from your home in a short-term rental situation. There are a lot fewer requirements for residency and things, I think. Although that's changing, that's an evolving thing.
They rewrote the law 3 years ago, and there are
Yeah.
very strict requirements for residency.
Yeah.
Whose day is this?
The town.
Town.
But I think that given that, as Emily and others said, to qualify as a traditional bed and breakfast, it has to be your residence as the owner, whereas their process.
Okay.
What are the
probably a
comments?
little more flexible.
Yeah, so we have a long memo that we wrote about this one, but we cite the code section 16559, which is all the bed and breakfast requirements, the standards that apply to it. And we went through each one, and it's D was the one about the owner residing. So we assume that was the case, but it doesn't sound like it's really the case. But our comment was, the owner would live in the bed and breakfast, residency requirement would be met, but if it's not, they're not really living there and kind of being the host and the innkeeper, if you will, it might not really be the
Forgive me,
case. The other comment,
No.
a two-part comment, it was that, and also we weren't sure from the plans, like there was the floor plan identified like an owner room, as like the owner's living quarters, but we didn't really see like a bathroom or a kitchen that was like specifically for
Separate from them?
Yeah, so that was a question too, but
Okay.
if this one important piece of the code is an issue, then maybe we need to recommend the short-term rental route.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And what is the size of the parcel?
The 14.6 acres.
14.6.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, like I was pretty straightforward, like what my motives are and why.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
I don't mind doing the short-term rental. I don't know. Emily had said she'd spoken to Lisa and that she, we were under the impression this might be more straightforward route than the other, so that's sort of why we took that. But
And it won't necessarily be a hindrance if you and your co-trustee are both owners of this parcel, if you can get him to okay this applicant to apply as well. I don't think that should be an issue. So either a deed that shows that you're the sole owner, or in the alternative, an application that gives consent from you and...
Which I'm guessing is a new form outright, like not just in addition to the one you have, like the consent.
Correct.
Okay.
And probably until we have one or the other of those, the board shouldn't review this again. Until such
I'm not
time.
sure that we're gonna review it again if he's gonna go a short-term rental
Right.
route, because he's
You
not,
may do a whole new application.
he's not gonna live, and that's just a permit through the
yeah.
building inspector.
Okay.
Not through us.
That's not a, yeah, without
Hey,
residency,
she's
I
the one on
don't.
vacation, so, in Bermuda, so. All right, well, thanks, you guys. I apologize, I certainly didn't want to waste your guys' time, but.
Thank you very
We
much.
get paid the same.
Good luck with it.
Thanks, you guys,
Hope
appreciate
works
it.
out.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I hope it works out. Well. Hope you can keep the house.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, you too, appreciate it.
Any other non-agenda business to come before this board? Hearing none, motion to close the meeting?
Wait,
Oh,
we have to talk about the application.
I'm sorry?
We have to talk about the applications. The revisement of the applications. It has come to my attention because we did have a pre-application request for tonight. The fee on the old application was $500. We did vote, or the planning board did vote to lower that to $100.
Yes.
It was not revised. The second thing about the pre-application is we need to do a separate personal page, just like
We need to
did
make
with
it
the-
for the, okay.
Yes, exactly. We have to remove the telephone number and email address and put it on a personal page.
Okay.
I thought we already agreed on that.
We did it, but only on the
Only on the
actual
regular
planning board application. The pre-application meeting form is different.
Yeah.
So can we get approval, from the board before it actually happens, so that we can do that, just like we did the planning board application without just splitting it into 2 pages?
You need to vote on that?
I think we need to vote on it to make
Yeah.
that,
We did that for the
you know.
I'm so moved.
To revise the pre-application.
And second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
See how well that
Okay.
worked?
Thank you.
Oh, well, there's one more.
Okay.
So, go back to the actual application. Natalie had noticed that when she was uploading the applications, the new applications, page 5, letter M, there is, if any of the following professions are involved in this proposed project activity, has email addresses on there. She is suggesting that we take number M and put it onto the personal page for the applicant to reveal.
It has whose email address? Is the applicant's email address?
No, the professional engineer, licensed land surveyor, attorney, and other type of professionals.
Is that a
No,
privacy
I think
issue?
I think that has to be on the application, because if somebody's lawyer wants to contact the other person's lawyer, put an objection, I think you need that. And also they're not gonna be contacting those people for fees.
Yeah, and when
Yeah.
we send comments out, we like to know who to send.
I don't think you can withhold
They're not
that.
going to be getting bills from the town.
Yeah.
No offense, but they're not gonna pay them anyway.
Right. So, all right.
I think it's fine.
I
I think we'll leave that one.
It's a good point to raise, but I
It
don't
is.
think it falls into the same category as protecting the personal privacy of the applicants themselves.
Okay.
So a question for me, so the applicant's contact information will be available somewhere for us to know when we send out comment memos?
Only from me
Okay.
to you.
Okay.
It's just not getting
That's
filed,
it.
it's just not getting
It
filed.
won't make it to the,
It's
won't
not
make it to the
getting
website.
uploaded,
Okay.
But this information is
All
getting
right, so everything that
uploaded.
you send around to us has the stuff in it, but the stuff that gets uploaded has some stuff redacted, it sounds like.
No, just on the.
Yes, it's the
Okay.
Yeah.
second part of the application, which is just
No,
property information.
No problem.
But Natalie had just pointed out that this particular part of that application has email addresses for
Professionals.
Yeah,
professionals.
they'll ignore it, or it'll go to spam, most likely. Yeah.
Okay.
Such a high opinion.
But a good
Professional.
question, good idea, yeah, yeah.
Yes, thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, thank you. Good job.
It's important to.
Any more?
No.
I'm done.
Okay.
Just gonna, but not for this meeting,
Ooh,
whenever the
but
board
this
wants to
close.
do it. The list of site plan waiver.
Yes.
Some of the
We're gonna-
criteria,
Purchase.
Yes.
so we can
Well, I
standardize
will
that.
attempt to put that together in the next 10 days and then circulate it.
And it could be kind of, I
I think it can be very short.
Yeah,
I
very
just
short.
have to do it.
Right.
That's, time is a little
don't
short
have to. You
right
can
now this
assign it
time
to
of
Adam.
year.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can ask Adam to do it.
Delegate.
Delegate. That's
Just kidding. Just kidding.
volunteers?
Next thing you got, they're gonna have flat tires.
Happy to volunteer.
There you go.
You wanted
Of
to
course,
get-
Adam missed the last meeting, so you have
Really
no
fair.
clue what we're talking about.
Well, I
Okay.
know, I've read it.
Okay,
Flat tires, just for that
I'll
reason.
help with that.
perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Anything else?
So moved.
Wow.
Could we have more discussion about new members to the board, or should we do that after we close the meeting?
I think
or-
we'll do it after we close. Motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you all. Meeting's over.
You're gonna